Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the hidden secrets of your favorite companies. Sometimes what they really mean is a whole different story. Today we're diving into a filing from Cactus Incorporated, ticker symbol WAD. Now this isn't a deep dive into their quarterly earnings or annual report, but rather a public disclosure of materials they'll be using to chat with investors. Think of it as a peek behind the curtain before their big meetings. So, what do they want investors to know as November rolls in? Let's get into it. Also, before we dive too deep, if you find these breakdowns helpful, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to join a community of like-minded folks discussing these filings and more, we have a Discord server linked in the description below. So the main point of this report is that Cactus Incorporated is getting ready to talk to investors. They are going to be presenting and meeting with them, and they've attached the presentation materials they'll be using right here. They've also put these materials on their website. This tells us they're actively engaging with the market, perhaps to share updates on their business, their strategy, or maybe signal upcoming plans. It is a standard practice, but it signals that conversations are happening behind closed doors, and now we get to see some of what is on the table. Now let's look at the actual presentation materials. While we don't have the full content of the presentation itself within this specific filing, the fact that it is an investor presentation implies it contains key highlights about the company's performance, strategy, and outlook. Based on the timing, this presentation would likely cover updates from the most recent financial reporting period and potentially touch upon future expectations for the rest of the year or into next year. Companies use these presentations to provide a concise and often visually appealing summary of their story, aiming to build confidence and attract investment. We can infer that the core of this presentation will likely revolve around their financial health, operational achievements, and how they plan to grow and create value for shareholders. Looking at the securities registered, we see their class a common stock, traded under the ticker WAD on the New York Stock Exchange. This is the main way people can invest in Cactus Incorporated. The fact that it is listed on a major exchange like the NYSE is a good sign, indicating a certain level of size and compliance with rigorous listing standards. It means that if you are an investor, you have a liquid way to buy and sell shares, which is always a plus. So, what does this all mean? Cactus Incorporated is actively communicating with its investors. They're sharing their story, likely highlighting their strengths and future potential. While we didn't get to see the full financial numbers in this specific filing, the act of presenting these materials suggests they have something positive or important to convey. It is a signal that the company is engaged and perhaps looking for continued support or new investment. Now, looking at this filing more broadly, Cactus Incorporated appears to be a company that is transparent with its stakeholders. At least when it comes to investor relations, they are using standard channels as required by the SEC to ensure information is available. The presentation itself, though not detailed here, is the crucial piece of information being disseminated. It suggests a focus on communication and potentially an effort to manage investor expectations or generate interest. We have to assume the presentation speaks positively of their performance and outlook given the context of investor meetings. What are the notable risks or opportunities revealed here? Well, implicitly at least, the primary opportunity is for investors to gain insight into the company's strategy and financial health through the presentation details that are not in this specific report. The risk is, of course, that without seeing the actual presentation, we are only guessing at the specifics. It is a bit like receiving an invitation to a party but not knowing who else is invited or what the theme is. In conclusion, this filing is less about hard financial data and more about the company's active engagement with the investment community. It signals that Cactus Incorporated is a company that is mindful of its investor relations and is proactively communicating. Alright, that is our quick look at Cactus Incorporated's investor communication. What is your take on this? Does this hint at good things to come for WAD? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this quick decode was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and for more straightforward breakdowns of corporate filings, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to join the discussion on our Discord server. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.